You know the feeling. You're alone in a room. No one else is there. But something shifts, a shadow at the edge of your vision, a sound you can't quite place, and suddenly, every hair on your body stands up. Your chest tightens. Your eyes start scanning. No one is watching you. But your body doesn't believe that. And the strange thing is, your body has been doing this for 2 million years. Not because it's broken, not because something is wrong with you, but because the fear of being watched is one of the oldest survival systems your nervous system has ever run, and it was never designed to be turned off. Here's the real reason you feel it. Your earliest ancestors did not live at the top of the food chain. That is something modern humans tend to forget. For most of human evolutionary history, you were prey, not the hunter first, the hunted. And in a world full of predators, big cats, hyenas, crocodiles, birds of prey, the deadliest mistake you could make was failing to notice that something was looking at you. Being watched meant being targeted. Being targeted meant you were seconds from dying. The organisms that survived were not the ones who stayed calm. They were the ones who felt a cold spike of dread the moment an unseen gaze landed on them and moved. Researchers call this the gaze detection system, and it is not a metaphor. It is a real neural circuit. Studies by Colin Clifford at the University of Sydney have shown that your brain has dedicated neural machinery specifically tuned to detect when something else's eyes are pointed in your direction. It works faster than conscious thought, faster than language. It fires before you even know what you are reacting to. You feel it before you understand it. That is not anxiety. That is engineering. Now here is where it gets stranger. Because this system was not only designed to detect predators, it was also woven into your social survival, and the two threads are almost impossible to separate. For your ancestors, being watched by another human was equally dangerous. In a small tribal group of 20 to 150 people, the kind of environment Robin Dunbar of Oxford University argues human social cognition evolved to navigate, being observed meant being evaluated. It meant someone was measuring you against the group's expectations. And if you failed that measurement, you risked something almost as bad as being eaten. You risked being cast out. Ostracism, in the ancestral environment, was effectively a death sentence. No tribe meant no fire, no food sharing, no protection at night, no one to guard your back while you slept. So your brain learned to treat a watching eye the same way it treated a predator's gaze, as a threat signal requiring immediate response. Psychologist Michael Graziano at Princeton University has documented how this dual threat system shaped the architecture of the human social brain, creating layers of hypervigilance that fire not only when you're in danger, but when you feel exposed. Exposure feels like danger, because for 2 million years it was. Think about what happens to your body when you realize someone is staring at you across a room. Your heart rate picks up, your skin flushes, your hands might tremble slightly. Your thoughts begin to race, cycling through questions. What do they want? What do I look like right now? What did I do? These are not random symptoms of shyness. They are the activation of a system built to assess threat, gather information, and prepare a response, all within milliseconds. Your ancestors ran this program every day of their lives. You run it in a coffee shop, and it doesn't distinguish between a lion crouched in tall grass and a stranger glancing your way twice. The neural hardware does not know the difference. It receives input, possible eyes pointing at you, and it fires. That is the ancient bargain your genome struck with its environment. Better to feel watched 1,000 times when no one is there than to miss the one time someone actually is. This explains something you may have noticed about yourself. The fear is never really rational. You can be standing in an empty field under an open sky and still feel it. A creeping certainty that something is looking at you from somewhere. Psychologists call this hypervigilant gaze detection, and research by Isabel Marescal at Queen Mary University of London has shown that the human brain is actually biased toward perceiving gaze as directed at us, even when it is not. You are wired to err on the side of being watched, because the cost of being wrong in the other direction was your life. Here is what this means for the way you live today. Every time you feel someone's gaze on the back of your neck, on the train, in a meeting, walking down an empty street at night, your 2 million-year-old threat system is doing exactly what it was built to do. It is not malfunctioning. It is running a program so old it predates human language. It predates fire-making. It predates the wheel. It predates almost everything you think of as human. And yet, in a strange way, It is one of the most human things about you. Because the animals that didn't feel watched, the ones whose gaze detection system fired too slowly or not at all, left fewer descendants. The ones who felt it constantly, who flinched first, who turned around before they knew why, those are the ones who survived. Those are the ones who eventually built cities and wrote books and invented the very concept of privacy. Privacy, when you think about it, is just the evolved desire to control who gets to activate your ancient threat system. You're not afraid of being seen. You're afraid of being seen by the wrong thing at the wrong moment. Because for almost all of human history, that fear was right. You didn't inherit anxiety. You inherited survival. The next time you feel a pair of eyes on you, in a crowded room, on a quiet street, in a moment where no one should be watching, notice what your body does before your mind catches up. That cold charge moving up your spine. That hyper-alert stillness before the flinch. That is not fear. That is 2 million years of something watching back.